Hey everybody, thank you for checking out my last video regarding my Vox Andariel Chain Lightning 220 attack speed Sorcerer. Yes, you can reach 220 attack speed. It is absolutely crazy, and the ASMR of the lightning coming out of the staff just sounds awesome. It's like a beam rifle, like pew 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 pew. Yep, it's just like that. Alright, today we have an update. And the update is pretty big regarding the build. I was able to get about 30% more damage output by just changing the Paragon board a little bit and changing the gear and one skill. Alright, if you haven't seen my build guide on this, check out the description below. There's a link to the last video and a build planner. Alright, let's get into it. First up, let's take a look at the Paragon board. There was quite a few changes here. I removed these 5 nodes right here. Yes, I did mention you need as much max HP as possible so that you can put int on your armor with the gems, but yeah, you don't really need to do that. You only need the int on the gems, on the armor for pits, but for infernal hordes, yeah, this is much better, and you can also use this for pits. So remove these 5 nodes here, because resistance to all elements kind of useless, and change the glyph right here. It used to be unleashed. We moved that to a different board and we put elementalist on this board. The reason why is because you get non-physical damage from here, which is big. It is the best damage bucket or damage modifier that sorcerers have for poison damage, because we don't have poison damage. So non-physical damage it is. Alright, next up on this board, Static Surge, nothing changed. So ignore this. On this board, however, Elemental Master, we did quite a bit of changing. It used to be an int board. I turned it into a dex board and put Tactician here because, again, you gain non-physical damage and 22 int. That's pretty good. Alright, so I think there's a node here. Remove that. Remove the one here. And then get this one. And then, yeah. Then travel here. And there you go. This is why you removed the points down there, because it helps you get to these nodes. These nodes are non-physical, damage to elite, non-physical and damage to elite, and non-physical again. We'll get the other nodes later. I'll show you guys. Alright. Next board. Nothing changed here. Still the same. Still vulnerable exploit. On this board, again, nothing changed. This board, nothing changed. And Frigid Fate board is where we changed some stuff again. This used to be a Dex board. It's now an Int board. And I figured it's better because Unleash gets from rare nodes. I mean, it upgrades the rare nodes. And the rare nodes here are vulnerable damage. And yeah, vulnerable is the second best damage modifier for Andariel's damage. On Sorcerer at least. For rogues, they have the damage to each Dark Shroud, which is it's just so OP and it's awesome. I mean, if you're comparing Rogue Andariel to Sorc, no contest, man. Andariel's is stronger solo. If you're doing solo and solo, it's stronger. But if you're together and they have that totem down there with the bug interaction of Veer's Mastery and Acial Conduit, I think you still have more DPS than the rogue. I might be wrong, I might be coping, but I think you still do. I see it when I play with my friend, and he has like way min-max gear than I do. Everything is like masterwork, triple crit. Alright, anyway, put Unleash here and turn it into an int board. That's basically it. I was able to get more non-physical damage and also a bit more vulnerable damage and damage to elites. Actually, it's quite a bit of non-physical that I got here. So big changes there. Now, it's a good thing a lot of you guys know how to do math, and I'm quite impressed by that. People said that I was overcapped with attack speed. I knew that going into the video. Thank you for pointing that out and making it clear. I just wanted to really make the video already, so I really wanted to share this. So I shot the video already. I was still gonna work around with the build, right? So I had an attack speed amulet that had a GA on it and conjuration mastery. It had +6 conjuration and it had +4 glass cannon and the GA of attack speed. I was overcapped by about 22 points. And I was trying to figure out how to lose 22 points without affecting some of my masterworks, right? And I decided to roll Andariels again. What happened was I triple crit attack speed by accident. Um, I thought I still needed at least 1 point of attack speed on Andariels and then put 2 points into all stat. So I rolled attack speed first, and then I was able to get it again. And for some reason, the goblins in my brain were saying, you know what? If it triple crits attack speed, let's see what happens. And it just so happened it triple crit, and here we go. I had a problem because I had to downgrade to my old amulet again. However, I went online after selling one of my 2GA Talrasha rings for 15 billion. That was an awesome sale, and it now I can build way more builds. Thank you to the guy that bought that. Uh, you guys are gonna see some awesome non-meta builds coming your way for Sorcerer. If you're interested for non-meta builds in any class, I plan to make them all eventually, but I'm a Source main, so we'll start with Sorcerer first. Yeah, guys, that's what I do. Non-meta created builds. I really like that. If you like it, sub. All right. So, triple crit. I decided to buy a new amulet and I got one with Conjuration Mastery. It had damage on it and it had some crappy stat. I think it was something to do with resource cost reduction. So I removed resource cost reduction and then I put glass cannon, which took a lot of money. I spent maybe about 2 billion total for this amulet. I think I bought it for about 500. I might have overpaid, really, 500M. And then I spent close to 1.5 billion just to get the glass cannon and to masterwork it to triple crit conjuration mastery. However, the triple crit conjuration mastery surprisingly didn't take as long as I thought it would. And I wasn't even going for it. I really wanted 2 conjuration mastery and 1 glass cannon to be similar to my old one with just the added 42% damage. But it gave me +7, so here we go. And this is how I was able to increase the damage exponentially, quite a lot. All right. Another thing I changed, which also helped the build a lot, was I changed the GA on my Talrash's ring. My old ring was better with the aspect. It had 80%. This one only has 76. So I was a little bit bummed out at first. But then I found this ring I found this in my stash, and it had a GA on non-fist. And I already knew that GA non-fist is the way to pump the damage. So I tried to roll for a triple. I couldn't get the triple because I was already tired of masterworking. So I settled with a double and a lucky hit, which is the second best stat anyway for Andariel's build, at least because I already have the Fist of Fate, right? So yeah, more non-physical. And guys, I tested this. I used my old triple masterwork Talrashas with less non-physical damage. One tick of Andariel's did about 550,000 damage. One tick of this new ring, it does about 725 damage. So yeah, do the math. That is a big increase right there. And if that stacks up, right? So non-physical damage is really the way to go with Andariel's Sorcerer. Alright, next up. And the final thing I changed was my pants. I did not have a max affix or a max aspect pants. It was only about 20,000 or something. I found one with 26,472, and it had one on chain lightning and resource generation. Resource gen is the most important stat for the build. So you want the GA on that. But if you can find pants with triple or 4 GA, that's even better and that's cheap. But they're expensive. The 2 GA ones, however, aren't as expensive. I got a steal for this one. And quick tip, guys, before it gets expensive, because people are gonna slowly get bored of their builds and try new stuff, and they're gonna start buying stuff that's non-meta. Yeah, Axial Conduit is dirt cheap. It's about, like I said, 500 million. That is cheap, especially if you sell items. And another quick tip, if you want to make more money or gold, if you have Talras's ring, sell those. Especially if they have GA on cooldown and you have one that's better, sell it. Or if you have a staff that has GA on int and GA on crit damage, sell that thing. It sells for about 15 billion up to 20B. I sold mine for 15, so yeah, it's pretty good. I used that money yesterday. Now I have more for the next builds. All right, so the upgrade to the pants. How much damage did I get? Quite a bit. The explosion damage increased by. It used to only explode for about averaging to 45 million to 65 million. I now see the explosions doing about I think 90 is the biggest that I've seen, or 90 or almost 100. And that's not the only thing that factors into the damage, by the way. It's also the non-physical damage because it's lightning damage. So yeah, all the changes compounds, guys, and once everything multiplies, it's a big addition to the build. To put it short, I did a pit run on 130, and the pack of mobs, I think I hit when there's a lot of them at least. The tick of the poison reaches about 800 million, and I was trying to get it to a trillion, but they just died. It couldn't reach. Their HP couldn't last. Maybe on later pits I can make it reach that high. But it was really awesome to see. And again, you have so many little projectiles, like all your chain lightnings, all your frost bolts and fire bolts, your burning damage from firebolt enchant. All of that stuff stacks up, and that's damage outside of Andariel. So really, you might be doing, at least in a pack of mobs, you're doing billions of damage, that's for sure. And yeah, it's really awesome. Now with bosses, the biggest damage tick that I'm able to do on a staggered boss right now is about 600 million per tick, but they have to be like really staggered, and I have to have like a perfect RNG with the lightning spears that come out and the ice blades, right? Which we get to our final change to the build, and this is strictly for pit pushing only, but it does so much for your build. It keeps the damage constantly higher, and if you're lucky, it really ramps up. And that's putting lightning spear onto your skills, right? You start using lightning spear basically. And also the reason why is for mobbing, or at least groups of mobs. You can also do this on infernal hordes, by the way. Lightning spear adds to your conjuration mastery. If you want to take a look at mine, it's about, I'm not like crazy like the Winterglass one, but hey, 10 ranks of conjuration mastery is 10% damage, 10% movement speed, and 20% mana regeneration. And that's the reason why you don't even need mana regen on your amulets anymore. So yeah, you run lightning spear, but you're not gonna be a lightning spear build. It's just a supplementary effect, right? To gain conjuration mastery. You're not gonna be dealing a lot of damage with this because you don't have splintering. It's just there for the conjuration mastery, as well as stunning. Stunning is awesome because as you start the fight with random mobs, they immediately have a crowd control on them, specifically stun, And stun with shock skills, you deal so much more damage, because of your Paragon Board. Uh, Damage to stunned enemies. We have it right here, like these stuff right here, and this one right here. So yeah, Lightning Spear adds to the Conjuration Mastery, as well as a good opener for stunning enemies and bursting them down faster, especially that pesky Aether Fiend. I forgot his name, Decapitator, whatever that dude's name is. I freaking hate him. The one that slashes and then a fireball comes out. Yeah, he can one-shot us if we don't have ice armor. Alright guys, so that's it for this quick update. I have a nice little ending video for you guys to watch. You can see me take down the 130 boss. Uh, it was a nail biter for sure because I died a few times during the mobbing phase and I died one time during the boss fight. I won't even show you that anymore. I'll just show you guys the boss fight. I won't show you the mobbing or anything. But yeah, it came down to the wire. And yeah, I thought I wasn't gonna make it, but I did it. Alright guys, that's it for this video. If you liked it, like it, comment below what you think. Really, like, I really want to know what you guys think. And if you have build ideas too, like if you got things you want to ask about Vox Omnium and stuff like that, feel free to do so. And I'll see you all in the next video. Thanks to all that subscribed, and thanks you for all watching the video. It was really, really awesome to see. And yeah, I make YouTube videos for tattoos, and honestly, I'm more happy when I have viewers for my gaming thing, and I don't know, it's awesome. All right, guys, thanks again. See you on the next one.